Welcome to the next episode of the Elevation Podcast. Today's guest is, he doesn't like it when I say this, but he is the legend in the coffee scene in Tampa and hopefully in the world one day. My man JP over here.
What's up? So
JP, this podcast was people that I've met that I find to be truly creative and have a good story to tell thanks to coffee. So,
sick.
So, and you definitely fit that mold to a T. And I always start with kind of like how we met. So at the time when we met, you were at LPCX. Gosh, this was probably 2018.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, and I was working my corporate job still and still kind of dabbling, like, when am I going to break out of it? And for me, one of the few things towards the end of my career in that industry that kept my sanity intact was going to LPCX and getting the buenos at the door, getting the good cup of coffee, the good food, and the good conversation on a slow day, you know?
Yeah. 2018, bro. I started coffee in 2017, 2017. March of 2017, Man. Exactly. And then
9 years.
Yeah, 9 years. I've been in coffee for 9 years, and around that time, I was still learning coffee. I was I had a year in. I was really getting my foot on what I wanted to do in coffee at that time. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you came in usually 2 p.m.
Bro, it was. I tried to make it before 2, but sometimes, man, meetings would run wrong, and because you guys were closing at 3, and I always felt bad coming in.
No, bro. At that time, we're closing at 3 now, but back in that day, we were closing 9 p.m.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you were just coming in the slow time, that middle of the day, really nothing was going on, and it was always good to talk to you about coffee, because it's at that point I feel Tampa community was very weird in coffee. There was coffee shops that were there, but I feel there wasn't the big community. I felt it was segregated a little bit, but it was always cool because the clientele that I was getting at that time was very old school Colombians, Hispanics who weren't really messing around with specialty coffee like that. Mm-hmm. So it was cool when the coffee homies would come in and we could talk coffee. You know?
Yeah, dude, that was great. And that was you alluding to what you said at that time. There was the beginning of the Tampa scene. I felt was kind of had a community to it.
Yeah.
And then we hit this weird period where the community kind of, like you said, it's separated between you have this pocket in Tampa, this pocket in Tampa, this pocket in St. Pete.
Yeah. I also feel it was the old school coffee people who started when Buddy Brew started. Mm-hmm. And the people who learned from there, and then the new people that I was in were kind of separate, different age group, and also our coffee journeys were different.
Oh, 100%. Man, so I was gonna allude to that later. Let's just jump to it now. So what do you think? Where did the change happen then? From that time, 2018, when I'm going in there, and there's just kind of like you said, there's these pockets. The community hasn't really been built yet. And even finding you at that time, it was a kind of I had to know the right person to know. And I think it was Brennan actually who told me about LPCX at the time. And it was just something I think it was through Instagram. It was just hey, I'm looking for a spot or whatever. She goes, you got to hit this spot right here. Nobody knows about it, And right now I would say there's still some hidden gems out there, but the community's grown so big. And it's so intact now. What do you think where'd the shift happen in Tampa?
I think a lot have happened. I think more in retrospect, it was people who learned from Buddy Brew, which is the OG specialty coffee shop here in Tampa, where those people who learned there moved on to do other things, and then the new school baristas at the time were people who got into coffee through other avenues.
Yeah.
So there was a big gap there. For me, I think I was in a different pocket too, just because I didn't learn coffee through any coffee shop. My parents have owned a Colombian restaurant for 30 plus years now. So at the time it was 20 years. So when I finished culinary school, we wanted to open LPCX, which was a trendy brunch spot. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to learn to get into good coffee, since we're gonna do like a cool trendy like food, like why not like have like cool interesting Colombian coffee instead of like the standard generic like coffee. So I didn't get into like learning coffee through going into a specialty coffee shop and working as a barista. I started by knocking on doors, like who's going to teach me? Like I didn't really know where to like learn how to get into this coffee game. YouTube a little bit. And then I got to meet the people that I got to meet, which was Jimmy from Yellow Rooster, who was selling super coffee mega machines. Yeah, super mega. Through him, I got to learn specialty coffee. I got to like buy specialty coffee through him. And when we opened the cafe, I learned as I went. Like I only knew like the basic training for like that I took for a week. And then we opened LPCX, and then I was like main barista.
Thrown into the fire.
Yeah. 7 days a week, 8 months straight, no break.
Dang, that's wild. And still, smile on the face.
Yeah.
Windows at the door, happy to serve. Yeah, man, you guys were hustling back then. And then, through those times, I was going back and forth. We opened, and I remember talking to my wife, when we were kind of narrowing it down, finally was like, hey, we're making the jump ourselves. We're going to open Elevation Coffee. She was like, well, who are we going to open it with?
Yeah.
I told her, I got 2 people in mind. I said, Esteban Cristancho, who's still with me this day, and I go, JP, but I can never pull JP away. Like, I'm not a poacher. I've never poached anybody other than Esteban. And then, it was one of those things that I was blessed enough. We had our first soft launch right before we got our permit to open, and it was just me and Esteban. You were like in the parking lot in line. You pull around the front, you're like, y'all need help back there,
bro. Hey, at that time it was like a funny time for me because like we had closed LPCX because it was it used to be an old gas station back in the day, so they had to like do some like take away the tanks that are under the concrete.
What a nightmare.
So we closed that like around that time that you guys opened, which was like 2019 December-ish time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was right around that exact time.
Yeah. So I was just like in between doing whatever. So I was like taking odd jobs and like doing like guest shifts in different places. And you guys, it was your soft launch. And I stopped by and there was a line out the door. And I'm like waiting in line, and I'm like, I kind of get to the point in the line where I could see you guys from the outside through the windows, and I'm like, damn, it's just them two, and I could see the stress in your eyes, and I was like, let me just go over and ask them if they need help.
Bro, absolute savior that day.
And I guess that's like how it happened, bro.
Pretty much, yeah. It was that, and I'll never forget though. You worked it for like 2 hours. Tip jar was full. My bro, take half of those tips. You're like, no. You left, and then you came back and waited in the line again to order an espresso, and I was like, you're not paying, and you're taking this money, like, but that's the type of guy you are. You're just kind of like, no, man, if I see a homie in need, I'm going to step up and fill that need.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, I've been blessed with so much in my life, and I would just want to reciprocate that by my actions.
No, that's awesome. And you do, man. It's everybody who knows you knows that about you. You got that, like, I don't know. It's just that it's not even like a confidence, and like it's that confidence of like, hey, like if you come near me, I'm gonna take care of you type thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Confidence is funny. I wouldn't put
no.
It's more of like I feel blessed every day, bro.
Dude, I feel that.
And it's just like I don't even think about it like in the way of like I want to bless people. I just like, I don't know. It's just the way I am. Like I just want to be good to people, just like how life has been good to me.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, man. So in your coffee journey, you started pretty much by yourself. There was some classes you could take. Jimmy had Coffee Matters at the time, I think was the courses and stuff. There was a teacher there that was kind of...
Diego, bro. Straight from Medellin, bro, from Colombia. So that's the homie, man. He was helping Jimmy. I think he was part of like the whole Coffee Matters thing, and he was like the professor. So he's the one who taught me, and to this day I always give him props. He was like the guy who introduced the coffee world, because like I had a thought about coffee like through videos that I learned, and I'm like, coffee's cool. But after taking that class, I was like, whoa, there's a big world out there of coffee, and I was like, I'm in, bro.
How deep was that class? Like, where did was it like the whole gamut of being a barista? Was it just latte art?
So it was like broken up in like the barista aspect, which is like espresso, like milk drinks, all that jazz, and then like it's like brewers, where it's like you learn about brewing techniques through like pour overs and stuff like that. And then it was those two throughout a whole week.
Dang, that's really cool. Yeah, we need more of that stuff here. Like, we've been trying to. Esteban has been he's built something like it, but we haven't had the time to implement it yet. But
of course.
Obviously one of the best people in the world at training. Like, he trains all of our new staff, and the way he trains people is something that is like a testament to him. He can get somebody in who has zero coffee experience and has them being a good barista within weeks, and there's something to somebody who's willing to learn, but somebody who's able to teach somebody that. Like, I'm not that person. I'm really not. I'm not good enough to do that.
For sure.
He's that guy, and Diego seems like he was that guy too.
Yeah, he really was. I think it takes a skill, because I feel like once you know something really well, it's hard to break it down, to simplify it to a point to actually teach people.
Yeah.
Because like when I started teaching people, it was frustrating, because I'm like, I know this so much information, and I'm like, why aren't you getting it? And it's just because like you have to kind of lead people to that. You can't like give them all the information that you got. You have to kind of break it down to simple facts. And Esteban is super good at that, bro.
You literally just broke down what I don't even know how to break down.
Yeah,
like when I'm trying to train, even something as simple as like, I have a kid and she's in school, we homeschool, and I'm like trying to teach her something, and like she's usually on it, but every once in a while I'm like, all right, broke down this complicated math thing. She's like, I don't get it. I'm like, what don't you get about it? It's so freaking complicated.
Because it's easy once you know how to do it,
right.
But like making sure you like leave breadcrumbs for people to like get there. And like I think that's an amazing skill that's underutilized, or underappreciated is the better 100%. Word. Yeah.
So you went from there. LPCX had closed down. Started working at Elevation. You were with us for a year. Man, that was me, you, and Esteban just crushing the beginning.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, that was magical times.
For sure.
Back before even the walls were still white, man. The packaging was still so simple, and
I think I would say like that period of time is where I expanded a lot in my coffee career, because of Elevation, because of Esteban, because of you. And at the time, it was a time where it was very easy to experiment. We had great coffees, and it was just cool to just like talk to people who were really passionate about coffee, and just being around that energy just gave me like, I learned so much at that time.
Oh, dude, yeah. I did too. I learned so much from you. And that was the fun part, just having me and Esteban. Sometimes we would all have 3 different opinions on something. And it was cool that there was never any complications. Or sometimes it'd be me and you would be like, no, we want more mouthfeel in this coffee. And Esteban's like, no, it needs to be more tea-like, We would have those little like fun battles with each other. And we'd brew them up different ways. And sometimes one of us or all of us would turn around and be like, no, you're right. And we'd all like the Spider-Man meme, like kind of point at each other like, wait. The same coffee is great no matter which way we do it. It was the freaking coffee, not us. But it was so fun to experiment in those times.
Yeah, and like it's funny to see what I thought, like my methods of brewing and like making espresso and making coffee taste good back in the day, how much it's changed. But it's like I had to like really understand. That period of time gave me the time to experiment and learn a lot. So it's like the foundation of how I brew coffee right now.
Yeah, that's great. And then from after your time in Elevation, which was amazing, I did want to throw another props to you though. There was a freaking Easter Sunday that we had, and you were like, "No, man, I'll work at it. We're not doing anything on Easter."
Oh, man, yeah, I remember.
And so me and my family went to church, and on the way back, it was like, "Let's swing by Elevation, see if anybody's there." And the line was wrapped around the building, and so I felt like I was trying to be the one time you came to him. I'm like, "Hey, man, let me help you." You're like, "No, I got it. Go home with your family." I'm like, "This guy's freaking amazing!" Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for the experiences that my father and my mother gave to me, because they had me working from a very young age, but it allowed me to learn how to work under pressure, and like things like that were just normal. Yeah. Like I remember it was the first Sunday, because Elevation at that time did not open on Sunday.
Correct.
And it was the first Sunday that we opened and it was Easter Sunday.
Yep.
And I was like, it is hard. It's tough. It was a line out the door, but we could do it. I could do it.
Yeah.
And we managed.
Yeah, dude, no, you crushed it. I'll never forget that. People to this day, I mean, they remember you. They remember you fondly. Like, you walk in, they recognize you. They know your family. Your family's so amazing.
Yeah.
But we'll get to them in a minute. So after Elevation, you went on. King State was next, right?
Yeah. I mean, in order of time, yes.
Okay.
But at the time, I was also, every Monday I worked for Eastlake Coffee.
That's right. That's right. You worked for Eastlake then for 7 years then?
This year it was 7. Yeah.
It was 7 years, and you just ended your run there, right?
Yeah.
So talk about, because on that part you were learning on the other side then.
Yeah, I mean, I also thank Joel for giving me the opportunity to work in production for his roasting company, because I learned a lot of that side through Joel Eastlake and being a part of Eastlake. I started cupping coffees. I started to see all these different coffees that I just never had access to. Learning the industry from that side was very impactful. And I got my first roasting chance there. So it was great.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And now you're roasting your own Wuz Here Coffee, but again, we'll get to that in a minute. Just trying to go along the lineage here. I forgot the Eastlake thing that happened right in between.
Yeah, and then King State, bro, a whirlwind of 6 months.
Dude, crazy whirlwind though, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I'll never remember popping there at night one time, and it was just bussing in there, and it was just all drinks, and I was like, can I just get a shot of espresso?
Yeah. I think it was 2020. So I was I remember I was working LPCX. I was LPCX from Wednesday through Sunday. Or no, it was Thursday through Sunday. I still had one shift of Elevation on Wednesday. I was working King State Tuesday and Friday nights, and then Monday.
Bro doesn't know how to take a day off.
Yeah, bro. I had to take the advantage, because it's not about it's about learning, bro.
Yeah,
it's about
100%.
learning.
Especially at that time, man. You're just consuming so much, and there's something magical about that time where all these places that were legendary were open at the same time, and you're learning from. I mean, most of them still are, and a lot of them still operate in just different spaces now.
Yeah.
And being able to learn, like you said, freaking Joel Eastlake. Not just with Esteban, who also used to work for you guys at LPCX before that.
Crazy, right?
Dude, LPCX, people don't understand the launch pad that was for so many people that worked there. I mean, not just from you, your whole family. We'll get into your family then, just because they're going to keep popping up too.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I just see my wife and daughter out there bagging coffee right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's something that my wife's not in the coffee industry. She doesn't want to be in the coffee industry. She is, because it's what we do. My daughter loves helping out. And your family is not just in the coffee industry. You guys exemplify hospitality better than anybody I know. I don't know, just talk about your family. Brag on them for a minute, because they're just amazing people.
Where to start?
Yeah, right, where to start.
I mean, my family came through my dad and my mom, who moved here from Colombia to New York. Me and my sister were born in New York, and New York is a hard place to live, especially with a family, especially at that time. So my father wanted to find a better place to raise a family. My grandmother came here because she had a sister who lived in Tampa, and she just said, I want to live in Tampa. So my dad's like, maybe we should all move there. We came what year was it? 1999.
Wow.
1999.
Right before the turn of the millennium.
Yep. And then my aunt, or my grandma's sister, she had a salon, a hair salon that was next to a Colombian restaurant. And the lady who owned the Colombian restaurant, she kind of wanted to give it up. So she gave it up to my grandma's sister. She didn't really know how to run a restaurant, so she gave it to my grandma.
Oh, cool.
And then from there, my dad moved in and took over. And from there, it's just been hustle every day. And slowly and surely, the restaurant opened, and they've been in that business for a long time. Not only here in Tampa, but my grandma's always been selling food in Colombia, selling it to the neighbors, and it was always about hospitality.
Always, man.
Yeah.
That's the thing you'll get right when you walk in. dude, I mean, just walking in there, if you weren't there, Brian was there. If he was there, Kimberly was there. Sometimes all three of you there. Aron was in there. You could call him Primo. He was working in there when he was, he was tiny, man. You had Andrea, who's now, working over. Is she in California now?
Yeah, she's in California.
Yeah. Genesis started there and went on to Spatty's. Now she's with Yellow Rooster. Yeah. Brennan worked there at one point, who's with Lavazza now.
Yeah.
Esteban. Gosh, I mean, how many other freaking legends have walked through those doors? I mean, you've had Colby, who works for me and works for ESIC now. He's taking shifts over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, in a weird way, it's like also through necessity. It's like the business and hospitality is always hard. Yeah, and especially like being well staffed, and it's just like, hey homies, I need help. Yeah. Please come help me. And then like for a lot of people, it was like their first like coffee experience or a different coffee experience. So it was I'm always blessed. Like, hey, they came and helped, so it's great. It's amazing. I learned a lot from them, like they learned a lot from me. So it's like, win-win.
Yeah, win-win, man. And your family too. They're all out there right now bagging all the coffee you just roasted. So
yeah.
Even did I see mom and dad out there?
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, I like created Wuz Here, but Wuz Here is more than just me. Mm-hmm. It's a big team. Takes like a village, bro.
It truly does, man.
And like I'm always so blessed that it's not my family, friends, partners. Everybody has helped me to get where I am right now. So
yeah, I mean, because somebody could look on the outside and say, "Oh, JP, self-made. But everything he's done self-made." And one of the things I've learned along the way, there's no true person that's actually self-made. Yeah. If you've gotten there, it's from the encouragement, the support, the help of so many small pieces along the way. Sometimes it is a big piece. And maybe we're not blessed to have, a trust fund in our names or something, but I think there's so much more when it's backed by family and friends and those people that have helped get you there, encouraged you, because it's not an easy route. Coffee's not easy. People think it is. They walk in here, they smell the coffee being roasted, being brewed, and they're like, they fantasize about it. Like, this would be great to do that. And then they get into it and they're like, oh, I don't just get to make coffee all day?
Yeah, no. Especially when you have a like business, bro. Like, you have to do a lot in coffee to make it in coffee. And when you make it in coffee, it's kind of like day to day. Like, you have to be figuring stuff out all the time. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't change it, bro.
No, I wouldn't either, man. Yeah. It's every bit of the struggle is our struggle, but every bit of the struggle leads to learning how to do it better. Yeah. And the world keeps changing. We just roll with what the changes are. Yeah. And stuff, and that's all you can do. So Wuz Here Coffee. Explain to people. People ask me all the time, what is that? What does Wuz Here mean? I know you get that all the time too.
I do. I mean, there's a story and then a philosophy that grew out of the story, or like the original conceptual thoughts of Wuz Here. Wuz Here for me like started as just like my Instagram handle that I got from like a rap album that I listened to, the way it's written, everything. So Wuz Here, like I used to have JP Was Here on my Instagram for a very long time. Came from a rap album by Big Crit, a country artist or a country rap artist.
Oh, okay.
And it's spelled Wuz Here.
W-U-Z.
Yeah. Wuz Here. I thought it was cool because that's how I used to write when I was like back in like middle school, high school. So I just put it on and it was cool. And then it became like in everything that I did, like when me and my brother started a YouTube channel and stuff like that, we used to just write it like that. Wuz Here and stuff like that. And then when I really decided that I wanted to start a coffee business, I was like, what am I going to call it? And I was like, Wuz Here. And it just stuck. But after having Wuz Here for a long time, I really thought about what it meant to me and why I had it for so long. And for a long time, I really felt like, especially at that time, like when I started coffee, 23 years old, didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. Felt like a kind of failure in a lot of aspects of my life. And when I decided to do coffee, I was like, I'm going to do this for the long haul.
Yeah.
And I think with Wuz Here as a company, I wanted to leave my mark. And JP was here.
JP was here.
Yeah.
I love that, man. That's even originally, that's what I thought it was. Because again, you were from, not hopping around, but you went to these places, grabbed some knowledge from them, left some knowledge as well, and moved those things in. You always left your mark on everywhere you went, like in a positive way. Like I said, you're a legend. Everybody I talk to knows you, and they have this like this inspiration from you. They really do, man. It's you leave a mark on people that's very inspiring, and coffee needs more of that. The ego's out the door when you come in, even though you could have a big ego because you have all the knowledge, the abilities, the skill, and everything too, but you don't, man. You're so grounded and stuff, and that was here. It was that mark. It's like it's almost like tagged, you know, like just get that graffiti out. Just
yeah, I think it's more about just showing up every day, you know. Mm-hmm. I think it's not that like I'm very special. I've just been here for a long time, and I'm gonna be here for a long time. And I think it's just the consistency and everyday learning, little by little. But yeah, consistency, key. Just showing up. That's what matters, I think.
The consistency trumps intensity.
Yeah.
The discipline will trump motivation too. Like you can't, if you're just waking up looking to be motivated, you're not gonna have that consistency.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in what you just said, man. That consistency. Because consistency, somebody doesn't see your consistent time, they see you 7 years later.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, this guy right here's got it all together. They don't know where it came from, you know?
For sure.
Overnight success, they'll say sometimes. So, no, it started when I was 23, 10 years ago, you know? And I think that's what's cool about stories like that. And so now you're on the roasting side predominantly. You still work the cafe a lot. You do pop-ups for Wuz Here?
Yeah, all the time.
Any coming up? Any like?
Not right now, but I mean, there's talks. There's always talks.
There's always talks.
Yeah. I mean,
permanent location talks.
Possibly.
We're not going to talk too much about that. They won't.
It's just like it's like the next step, and I do want to do something special, but it's not that I'm a perfectionist, but I would like to do something that I'm very proud of, and also, I know starting a business and opening up a business, getting the permits and all that is no joke.
Yeah. It's
so
no joke at all.
I think for the most part, I don't want to put it out there that, we're opening up something in the next year.
And then it doesn't happen.
And it doesn't happen. Yeah. I'd rather keep it close to the chest. Like, just know that, yes, there is something that I want to do for Wuz Here, a space that I want to create that really showcases what we want to do in coffee. And it's going to happen, just no time yet.
Dude, and I think that's the best way to do it, because even with autonomy, it was the same thing. Everybody's like, well, when's it going to open? When's it going to open? When's it going to open? And I'm like, all right, well, we found the building. All right, when's it going to open? We got the equipment in. When's it going to open? We're waiting on the... You know, you can't like set a date for any of those things, but when it arrives, y'all will know when it arrives.
Exactly.
And I think that's the key, and I think that's where Wuz Here, and again, the whole stamp of Wuz Here is going to hit that point when it finally does open. It's going to be like, boom, that's the spot now, you know?
Exactly. I'm still learning. So,
dude, we all are.
Yeah. So I want to like learn so much more before we open. So I think in a way it's a blessing. It'll happen when it happens, and we'll just learn as much as we can before that.
Oh, absolutely. So are you cool talking about your like roasting style and roasting profiling and stuff at all?
Sure.
Yeah. Like, so what's your approach to when you get like a new coffee? You have a new release coming up. Like, what is your approach to roasting?
Well, we try to sample all our coffees, depending on what coffee it is. Like, we kind of through the years have roasted a lot of coffees and have like a understanding of what we want to do for each style of coffee. Like for our experimental coffees, for our like washed Colombian coffees, we kind of have a recipe in mind. So we try to aim for those and try to do little subtle changes, cup them, try them, see which one is tasting better, and then lean towards that. But I would say I have the most experience with just Colombian coffees in general. That's mostly all I roast. I do dabble in other origins and stuff like that, but I've been roasting for 5 years. So Colombian coffee is where I excel at. My roasting style would be, I like to roast hot and fast. High heat and development time, I think, is where I focus on the most. I think being able to develop the coffees the way I want them to really depends on the development time, and that's where I want to like really leave a mark that's what I want to do. Development time after crack is very important to me, so we really calculate that on the profile that we want.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, the development time ratio is the time for first crack hits, the time it ends divided by the total amount of time. But do you have a target that you try to hit on those?
I don't follow the
actual ratio,
the percentage. We follow by minutes.
By minutes.
Because all our coffees have like the same weight. So we try to do, if we're doing like something fancy, we're trying to hit 30 to 45 seconds of development time, so pretty light. For anything that's like super sweet and like what we want to do for espresso, like a minute and 30 seconds,
okay,
so a
so
minute
you're
45.
on those ones a little bit more. Yeah, I got you. That's really cool. And then high heat, I mean, you're pushing it 100%
yeah,
to get that bad boy, to get that nice.
We like to soak and then like go all the way to 100%.
Yeah.
Because we use similar batch sizes, it kind of works out that way. We stopped doing like the development time percentage because if you do switch like weight of coffee on different beans, that ratio kind of messes up. You can't really replicate it on different batch sizes. So we try to do time instead of that, just in case we do have to do a different batch size for the same coffee.
I firmly agree with that. So that's exactly when somebody asks me, "What's your development time ratio?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
nah.
I need to calculate it real quick because I can tell you my roast time, how many minutes or seconds it was, if you however you want to break it down, and then you can calculate it. Like
yeah.
But sometimes when they ask, I'll calculate. I'm like, oh, that was at 16%. Okay, cool. Does that change what your perception of the coffee is?
Yeah,
shouldn't.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
But for us, when we know, we're like, hey, you do that one, you cup it, you're like, it needs more development. I'm going to push it 15 seconds, Not I'm going to push it 2%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I don't want to do the calculations back and forth either.
No. I think my roast style comes to like, I want my coffees to be good on pour over and also on espresso. So I try to get a lot of sweetness out of all our coffees, but without losing like the magic, the sparkle of our coffees either. I want to dabble into the point where I could like roast for using the same coffee for drip or for like filtered coffees and for espresso and differentiate that. But for now, where we're at, we want a coffee that is accessible, that we can make good at the shop, but you could also buy that coffee for home and it tastes just as amazing.
No, your coffees are amazing. Like when people ask, like, I'm not even joking you. Like an out-of-towner comes in and says, hey, we found Elevation, looked it up. This place is great. Where else should we go? Not just me, my entire staff will probably say, you got to go to LPCX. You got to get Wuz Here Coffee. Like that's always our go-to answer right away. It's like, you got to go. And they're like, how do you spell LP? They're always
it's funny. Yeah. And
then you tell them, well, it stands for La Pequeña Colombian Express. Like, go back to the LP
LPCX, yeah.
Dude, that's just my way of saying you're killing it. Whatever you're doing is absolutely killing it. And that's, I mean, I see you out there teaching the other guys, how to roast and stuff too. And I think that's great. You're passing on some of the knowledge to the other guys and your staff and everything. Yeah.
I think coffee is like this shared experience, and like I don't want to gatekeep that.
No.
I feel like the way I learned is people who are willing to teach me. So why not teach that? I don't know why people gatekeep it.
I don't either. And that's one of the things that since we've opened Autonomy, my wife is even like, so you would be willing to give your profile to somebody else? I go, yeah, I just want better coffee on everybody's freaking plate now, or table, not plate. Like I don't want to go somewhere that I know that they were represented in here. Like if they have their own profile and they say, hey, I want to do this.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Go do your thing. But half the time people come in here because they've had a certain coffee and they say, hey, how do I replicate that coffee for my cafe? And I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you're looking for. I have a profile for that Colombian or Honduran coffee or whatever, that might match what you're looking for. Let's test that out.
Yeah.
So, and I have no problem.
For sure.
Letting someone do that. Because at the end of the day, coffee, it needs to be good. But it's the experience you have at the cafe is what matters.
100%. I think the whole idea of gatekeeping your secret recipe is like, I get a little bit what you're talking about, but at the end of the day, it's like any other person could buy the same coffee you have, roast it close to what you have, but the experience that they'll have is different than Elevation Coffee.
Absolutely.
It's like, I think that's a big part of coffee. Not only do you have great coffee, but it's like people come for the experience that you're like setting out for them. You know what I mean? Like me and you have had the same green coffee before,
Right.
like multiple times, and like our roasts could be very similar, but like our experiences are different. But people will go for elevation for the elevation experience, and they'll come for the Wuz Here experience to do that.
Correct. Sometimes they'll do both in the same
Yeah,
day.
exactly. So it's all love, but I think it's everybody has an experience they want to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Business is business, yes, of course, but like I think the creative aspect of business is the way that you use these products to create an experience behind it.
Yep.
And I think more people should do storytelling through business.
I agree. I think that most people want storytelling, they don't know how to express it.
Yeah.
But they also, it's the sad, like, the way we are here in America right now. Everything is about convenience over quality. But when they do want quality, they search for some reason, I don't know what it is, they find a certain location that they think is going to provide the quality, which sometimes doesn't.
Yeah.
And it doesn't provide the experience. What they're really looking for is that experience. They just don't know how to say it out loud. And I'm a firm believer in that. I will go, like I would tell the story multiple times. When I've been in New York, I can get good coffee almost anywhere.
Yeah. Heard.
The place where I had the best coffee, like one of the most memorable like shots of espresso I've ever had in my life, was like a shot from Tim Wendelboe. Was some of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. I gave them 3 tries though.
Yeah.
All 3 times were awful. Never went back, and they ended up closing because they had awful ratings.
Yeah.
Even though the coffee was phenomenal, and people will always they'll always remember how you made them feel, but they don't remember exactly sometimes what got you there.
Yeah.
But they remember the feeling of the experience, and they keep coming back.
Yeah, because there's like times where I go to like amazing coffee shops, and like I know the coffee's amazing, but like I'm like, what did that coffee taste like? I know it was good, but like, what did it taste like?
Mm-hmm.
But the feeling of a good customer service and a good humble, like a love experience you go to a shop, you take that forever, bro.
100%, man. And that's what you do so well, and your whole staff does so well. Dude, so what's next for Wuz Here, other than opening the shop? You got any new fun coffees coming out that you can talk about? Or
I just came back from Colombia and had some cupping. So like our menu for now is kind of set, but in the next couple months we're expecting some cool coffees.
Yeah, where'd you go visit in Colombia?
Well, I went to visit to Yellow Rooster Cata from Yellow Rooster.
Nice.
They have a lot of cool coffees from, should I say, Cauca?
Cauca?
Yeah, from the region that my family's from. So we cupped a lot of cool coffees that I'm very interested in. And since it's the region that my family's from, it'd be cool to bring those in.
Dude, again, adding to the story.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Dude, that's awesome. You cool? I got some rapid fire questions for you.
Yeah, for sure.
To go through. What's the most memorable cup of coffee you ever had?
Ooh, crazy. I would say there's like definitely 2 that I like in my mind.
Let's hear them.
A Natural Ethiopia when I first started coffee, bro. Natural Ethiopia when you first start coffee, where you're like drinking Bustelo every day, and then you have a natural Ethiopia, bro. Mind blowing.
Yep.
You can't replicate it. I mean, it probably wasn't like the most amazing Ethiopian coffee, but it was the first Ethiopian coffee. So definitely like that changed my perception for like first time. And then second is probably an Edwin Norena coffee.
Yeah.
I think the first Edwin Norena coffee that I tasted was so crazy that it just like blew my mind. I think it was like a golden wash.
Golden wash, okay, yeah. Imported from Yellow Rooster.
Yeah, imported from Yellow Rooster. Yeah. But like
Edwin's a legend, dude.
Yeah, for sure. It really like, cause at that time I was drinking like naturals, honeys, and like washed, and they were just kind of like they were great coffees, but then you had it like extended fermentation, something.
It's like, what the
hell is that? Yeah. So definitely those 2, but I've had so much amazing coffee that I just like so blessed to have that.
I know. I think we get not complacent, but just travel back and forth from World of Coffee, and I had airplane coffee. You know what I mean? And it reminds you how bad the normal person is drinking, how bad the coffees they're drinking. And then I went into the airport and just grabbed a cup of Counterculture because there was one in the booth there. Yeah. The guy had no idea what Counterculture was. He was just an airport employee working it. Nice guy though. Had the cup, and I was like, oh, this is so good now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I would have just had that normally, I'd be like, yeah, it's a good cup of coffee. But now I'm like, I'm reminded, especially coffee is special. But when you always have specials, sometimes you got to be reminded every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then you got to also be like, dang, this is also part of my mission. Like, people are drinking this.
Yeah.
And are fine with it.
Yeah.
And it's not. And they shouldn't be, especially for something like what we do. Like, come for the experience, too.
Yeah.
It's not just the coffee.
Actually, I do have one more coffee that I remembered that is a coffee that still to this day I haven't really had something similar to it, and it's the Eugenioides by Immaculata.
Oh, of course. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like coffee that doesn't taste like.
Where did you get that one from?
It was like when Immaculata came in to Tampa,
Fernando?
Fernando, and we had some, and I was like, this doesn't taste like anything I've ever tasted.
Dude, it was wild.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford it though.
Yeah, same.
I bought a different geisha from them from that trip when it came in for a 1 year release, but I wanted that Eugenioides, and he showed me the price. I was like, I'm not even going to business if I buy this right now.
Exactly, but great experience though.
Great experience, so 100%. Who is your favorite non-Tampa roaster?
Leaves Coffee from Tokyo, Japan.
Oh, I don't know about them. Okay. Do they ship? I didn't have to look them up. Why do you like them so much? Is it just the experience you had when you went there?
I heard about them. Beautiful shop. I like everything that they're doing.
Putting that in my notes.
Yeah.
Leaves Coffee?
Leaves Coffee. Really great. But there's a lot of other coffee shops, like from my travels around. But yeah, that's my number one. But if I had to say a quick fire round, Motors from Paris, and in Tokyo, definitely Leaves, Paddler's Coffee, and what's the other one? It's like escaping. The Weekenders.
The Weekenders, okay.
From Kyoto, Japan.
Kyoto, Japan. Man,
Yeah.
I mean, it's well-traveled over here. Who wins in a latte art throwdown? You, your brother, or your sister?
They're really good.
So are you.
Not as much. I don't really do latte art like that, but I want to get back into it. I think right now, probably my sister. But Brian,
wow.
I think Brian could win on a day, but Kimberly knows how to do a bunny rabbit. So
what?
Yeah.
Dude, at World of Coffee, they just had the latte art championship there, and it was absolutely mind-blowing. I'm like, why do I even steam milk at this point? Like,
It's
watching
crazy,
these
right?
guys, absolutely insane. And like the top 6 guys, I don't even know how you can. They're so close. Like, it's the most minor details, and they make them tell stories now too.
Yeah.
And that's part of the judging, at least from
experience?
what I could tell from it. Yeah.
Crazy.
And I think that's great, and it's cool to see like the craft getting to that point. One dude poured like this. It's like a monkey's face with like the whatever. You know, I was just like,
All right. Quick question.
Yeah.
How was World of Coffee San Diego?
dude, World of Coffee was fantastic. It was right when I walked in. It was a little intimidating. I'm not gonna lie. I've never been to something like that big and loud before. So you're just kind of disoriented. Like, okay, what direction do I go in?
It's like starstruck. There's a lot of like legends there for real.
Dude, there were a lot of legends across the board from all levels.
Yeah.
I mean, saw Jimmy Butler. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like, I mean, that's a legend in a different.
Yeah.
Arena. I didn't say anything to him or whatever, but I was just like, that looks like Jimmy Butler. I didn't think. And it was like, then I found out. I saw later. I'm like, oh yeah, that was Jimmy Butler. Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, I was like, Scott Rayo was there. Got to meet him. But for me, it wasn't even about that. It was. It was going. I felt honored to brew in 2 different booths and to have my coffee represented at another booth. So that to me was the honor. I felt like those people to me were the legends that I walked into. So I got to brew in Yellow Rooster's booth and represent Juan Paredes coffees that I roasted. And then one other from Jefferson Mota that a guy's actually going to use for competition. So it was, so it was so cool. I got to meet that guy. Super nice kid. I hope he does really well. Then I got to be in those coffee people's booth. They invited me out. Their producer of the coffees that we sell over here was actually there, Juan David. So we got to kind of brew together the coffees that he was doing. Yeah, you know what I mean? So for me, that was like... That was like being on the court with Jimmy Butler for somebody who loved basketball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope.
And then Espresso Parts, again, absolute legends in our industry for their equipment and stuff. Like had 2 of my coffees on espresso all weekend long. So
that's sick, bro.
And of course, that was my first stop. I had to go over there, make sure they're, maybe I just wanted to taste, I
Did you
wanted
dial the
to know
coffee
it's good,
in?
but I just like check the dial on the coffee type thing, and it was phenomenal. Like even on day 3, some kid found me at one of the booths, and I always feel weird talking about my brand or something while I'm in somebody else's booth as a guest, you know. But he was like, dude, I had that Juan Puerto coffee from you, and Espresso Parts wouldn't sell me the rest of their bag. He goes, "Do you have any over here for sale?" I'm like, "I don't have any for sale."
Check the website.
I'm like, "I have more I'm gonna roast this week."
Yeah.
Check the website. It should be live by Wednesday or Thursday.
For
Probably
sure.
Thursday now because I'm running behind on everything this week.
Hey, bro, same.
But you too, yeah. So, but dude, other than that, it was other ones too. Like, my partner here at Autonomy is Tom Pesdog. He's a wrestler, WWE. He's like, "Oh, you got to go meet my buddy." His name is Colby, but he has a different name in wrestling because he just started a coffee brand through Dayglow.
Sick.
And so I went to go meet him, and he was like, "Dude, I know Elevation, bro. I'm the one who told John Cena to go to your shop." I'm just like, this weird world of like coffee has grown into this sphere. And then I go instantly. He goes, "Yeah, go check out my booth, bro. Go get some coffee in there." And then Nate Young was in there,
doing his thing.
Doing his thing, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, oh my gosh, another Tampa legend, is over there. Dude, I ran into that. I thought that was the cool part. I ran into so many Tampa, Orlando, St. Pete people at World of Coffee in San Diego that, again, our community is so special. I didn't even care about the other celebrities over there. I mean, I care about them because there's guys that it would have been cool to run into because I listen to their podcasts or they've influenced me in some direction. But it's this community here that even across the frickin' United States still made me like giddy to see and happy. You know what I mean? Like
that's cool. I haven't been able to go, but I think next year for sure.
You have to, man. Well, we gotta. I'll force your way in somehow.
Make myself go. Yeah. I always take I'm always doing something around that time and busy, and then I'm like, oh wait, it's this weekend, and I'm like, damn, I can't go.
Yeah, that was. I was very. Again, I was just blessed to have coffee represented there and to be invited. So I had to pay for my flight. I have a good friend who lives in San Diego or just outside of it, so I stayed with them and their family. So it made the trip really smooth and really easy for me. It was hard to say no to it, at the time.
Absolutely.
It's hard to break away, but my staff, shout out to my staff. They're so good at holding the fort down.
For sure.
Half the time, I don't think they need me. I think they're just going to kick me out one day, which is totally cool.
You say that, but it's like you always want to come back in.
Brother, help out. I do. I joke all the time that I love all this other stuff. I love doing this because this is just a creative outlet for me. I love talking with people like you. But I want to be 90 years old and pouring somebody a cappuccino. You know what I mean?
That's sick. Yeah, me too,
that's
man.
That's not even a joke for me. I don't want to be retired, I was talking with Scott Ray on this. He's like, yeah. He goes, I was like, what's your next goal? He goes, to be retired in 5 years. I was like, actually? He goes, yeah. He goes, I just want to go surf. You know what I mean? And I was like,
for sure.
Cool. The guy who's helped me in my roasting career, one of the most influential in my roasting profiling and stuff. I'm like, it was just weird to hear somebody say that, and I'm just like, dang, I don't want to break off and do something. I still want to do this,
Yeah, of course. I mean, for sure, I want to have a little bit of time for myself at one point, but I know that I want to make coffee and talk about coffee for the rest of my life.
Me too, because it's not just about the coffee. It's about the connections we made through it. They're part of the story.
Yeah.
That are always going to be part of
for sure.
us talking about coffee.
Yeah.
Silly question. Gun to your head, you have to get every lyric right in a karaoke song. What song are you singing?
Fly Me to the Moon.
Oh, okay. I was not expecting that. I was waiting to hear some rap song, like a little Nas or something. But
no. I could probably, but I think that's my go-to karaoke song.
Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah.
Dang, I gotta go to karaoke with you. You can actually belt the notes and everything.
Oh no, I'm not good at singing, but I love that song.
Okay, and you talked about your travels earlier. Where's the most interesting place you visited?
It's hard, bro. I think everywhere I go is different cultures, so it's always so much fun to see. I've only been to Colombia, Paris, and then Japan, outside of the... Oh no, I've been to Guatemala. I've also been to Guatemala. Nah, I can't choose one. I can't. There's so much stuff to see, to do.
Yeah, I feel like you pull a lot of influence from Japan, though.
For sure. I love Japan.
Yeah.
But would I say I'd love to go to a bunch of different places, and I love the places that I've already been. But yeah, I do. If I could only choose one, probably Japan. Yeah.
Okay.
But I won't.
Tampa's the best of all the places you've ever been.
I'm bringing the whole world to Tampa.
Bringing the whole world to Tampa. I love it. And then you could share a cup of coffee with one person, dead or alive. Who is it?
bro, didn't know we were gonna answer questions like these. Yeah.
And it's a loaded quick because you probably like 8 names jumped in your head at once. Probably.
No,
you know?
actually,
No?
I draw a blank. There's like probably my great grandfather.
Okay, great grandfather. Wow.
Yeah. Backstory. My great grandfather, he actually passed away because he was like a businessman in Colombia, in like the little pueblo, and he actually passed away because one of the coffee trucks tipped over and he passed away.
Oh man, that's awful.
Yeah. But I think in a weird way, it's like destiny. Like,
so you want to talk to me like, look where I'm at. Now.
Yeah.
I love that, man. That's a great story. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't really tell that story.
No,
well, I mean only the inner circle for sure.
Inner circle.
But, yeah.
Well, my 10 followers are gonna listen to this.
Yeah.
And then the one I like to ask people to leave on is if you could tell the other person listening or watching this.
Yeah.
Piece of advice. They have a creative outlet. It might not be coffee. It might be coffee. What's your advice to them if they're struggling through this or they're thinking about quitting something, but they know it's what their goal in life is? Like you said earlier, you're like, I'm doing this the rest of my life one way or another. There's people out there saying the same thing right now, but they might have an out. What would you say to them?
I mean, we talked about it. Consistency. I think like just showing up is a big part because not every day is going to be magical. It's not. Like, just don't give up. I think the more you do it, the more you learn whatever you're doing, coffee, creative outlet, the better you get. And like as time goes on, like you don't really notice the changes in your craft, but your results do speak for themselves. And all you have to do is just be there when it's good, when it's bad, and everything in between.
Yeah. Amen to that, brother. Where can people find you?
Wuz Here Coffee. We sell coffee online. You could go to LPCX on Armenia Avenue, get some coffee there. And yeah,
Get a reservation if you're going on the weekend, though.
Yeah. I'll be around. We're trying to open up a shop sometime, whenever that is. I'm trying to get into Brewers Cup, so yeah.
Dude, that's exciting. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to, man. I'm trying to.
Hey, no consistency. Keep
Yeah,
it going.
consistency. So yeah, if you're in Tampa, stop by LPCX. And if you're not, just buy some coffee online.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Love it. Well, JP was here.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. Dude, thank you so much, man.
For sure.